Hey folks, welcome to gloomy San Francisco. Yes, it's pretty gloomy today. We had the San Francisco Marathon today. Yay! Anyway, this is an introduction to the next video you will watch on the halftime shuffle, which is a really cool beat. And I also talk a little bit about why it's important to have a MIDI controller. MIDI controllers are exceedingly important, especially in audio production at home. And the beat itself, the rhythm that I've constructed, is a pretty well-known rhythm. It's got a lot of funky, jazzy elements to it, and it's a whole lot of fun to program within the MIDI environment. And it's an important beat to learn, rhythm track to learn. So without any further ado, I'm going to give you my version of the halftime shuffle as it relates to working in Logic. And the drummer that we'll be using will be the Kontakt Studio drummer. And this is the drum kit that comes with Kontakt Player when you buy the full version, I believe. So again, sit back and enjoy. Good evening. So we have Studio Drummer set up in Kontakt, and we have the Garage Kit. All right, enough of that. So let's talk about the controller that I'm using first of all, because this is a little different than the controller I normally use. So the controller I normally use is the Arturia controller, which is really, really nice, the Keylab 88. This is actually a very old Korg keyboard. It's a Korg N5. It's from the early 90s, and I bought it at Guitar Center in, I think in 2000. Yeah, I bought it. I was still living in Boston, and it became my first controller. And the reason I like this controller is you can really hit it really pretty hard. And there's one key that, of course, isn't working, which is, I think, why I haven't used this controller in a long time. But for drum programming, I love it. It's also got aftertouch built into it. Not that it matters much for the sample library we're using, but it's important that you actually have a physical controller, and you don't need to spend a ton of money to get one. You can buy one used. I've got a little one over here. This one was pretty inexpensive, and if everybody can see that, and that's another Arturia controller, and it's actually got aftertouch associated with it. So if you want to know more about aftertouch, I've got a video on using aftertouch. So it's important to have a physical controller. And again, they aren't that expensive. And I'm going to show you the kind of controller that's really not going to get you the sort of performance that you want to get. Lean over here. Here we go. This here, not a MIDI controller. Not a MIDI controller. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I'll ask somebody what they're using as an input device, and they'll say, oh, I'm using my keyboard. I'm like, this is lame, so don't use this. Throw that away. All right. Get a controller. So let's talk about it. The Studio Drummer in Kontakt's pretty cool. It's fairly expressive. It's a lot better than the drummer that comes with Logic. It gives you more options in terms of sounds, in terms of the kit. Some great toms, great cymbals. Great cymbals, great hi-hats. So this is the Garage Kit, and I really like the Garage Kit, but we're not going to use the Garage Kit today. We're going to actually be using the Session Kit Full. It has a more compact sound. And I just like the way that it sounds better. We're going to jump into the mixer really quick here. And I think we're going to use just jazz. That's actually too bright. So let's figure out how to mix this kit. I don't really want to... I want to turn the reverb down. And that's better. The overhead. And let's check out the hi-hat. That hi-hat's great. I really, really like that a lot. Foot, and then open, and we can close it by using the stick hi-hat. Open, and it closes it up. And that's kind of universal for both the Logic kits and the Kontakt kits. So we're going to program a rhythm today that I really think is a great rhythm to learn, because it teaches you a lot about triplet rhythm. It teaches you a lot about polyrhythm. It teaches you a lot about shuffle, halftime shuffle, halftime shuffle. So we're going to do it. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slow the kit, the metronome down. We're going to keep everything in 4. I'm going to move the kit over to here, and let me turn this off. Let me see. Close mics, mixer. Let's see, grooves. We're not going to do that. Kit. There we go. So we're going to play through the kit. Splash. Cymbal bell. Crash. All right, so let's get into the groove. So first of all, when you're programming drums, I think one thing that you should try is just to let the metronome do its thing and not get too caught up in landing on the right beat. And I'll just show you. So we're going to start here. Here we go. I'm going to actually go into the mixer, and I'm going to turn the metronome down because it's a little bit loud. I'm going to move the kit over here, go to the all track, and then turn the click down. The click's a little loud. We can actually put the click in the main window, create track there. All right, so here we go. We're going to start. Right there. We're going to open up the kick drum track in the editor, and we're going to take a look at the MIDI notes for a second. And we're going to actually do a triplet quantizing value here. So let's try 16th note triplet, and let's see if we can get the swing going. And that's the trickiest thing about this groove, is getting the quantizing not to screw up the groove that you've made. So let's try it again. And that's not it. So it's going to take multiple tries, multiple guesses until we get it right. There we go. And what's great is there's a little mistake in here, but I really like it. Let's see if we can kind of fix that. Not quite. So again, this all takes a little bit of finesse. And we'll keep that. All right. So the next thing we're going to start in on is with the hi-hat. And the hi-hat's going to be playing triplets. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. So it's going to be kind of like in a 6/8 feel. And what we're going to do is we're going to take track other next to the same instrument right here. And now we're going to start. Now there's some mistakes in there, and that is just fine. Let's stop. All right. And for view, we'll scroll and play, and we'll make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Sorry about that, folks. Now, we're going to trim this region on the front just like this. We're going to get rid of this data. Come on. Did my keyboard just stop working? Did my keyboard just run out of gas? That's a great question. Let's take a look. Edit cut. All right, there we go. So we have this and we have this. So let's go back to the beginning. And let's listen to them together now. Now, the thing we now have to fix is the triplet feel on the hi-hat. So let's fix that. So let's play it with straight eighths and see how it sounds. And that does not work. So let's try it with eighth note triplets again. All right, let's speed it up. All right, so that's not bad. So the next thing we're going to add is our snare, and we're going to play with the snare, and we're going to play with the snare coming in on beat 3. So it's, we have these great these different snare accents, which I really love on this particular drummer. So here we go. Now, I messed around, I improvised a little bit, which I strongly recommend that you do. So let's go up to A, and let's take a listen to it. And this time, we're going to use swing feel. Actually, let's put that back. And let's go triplet to 8th again. And let's speed it up. Go back to the beginning and make some adjustments as needed. That one, maybe we'll quantize that to an 8th triplet. You know, selectively quantizing. And that fixed it. So let's do something fun. Let's solo this track. And we're going to actually solo this against the... of course, this is what I love about, you know, working in Logic. Things tend to work when they feel like it. I don't know if anybody can really relate to that, but we're going to actually play this against the kick. Even if it's a little sloppy, it's still pretty cool. So we have that, and let's bring in maybe just separate from that the without this. Let's bring in this, just the hi-hat and the ghost. Further actions would maybe include doing some, on this track here, doing some humanization. And so going into the humanize world and choosing a humanizing value of maybe 12, which is going to shift the time just a little bit, but might give it some more groove. So let's see, let's do this again here. Here we go. In the first part here, we should revisit this and fix it, because there's a few errant notes that we could actually work on getting a little bit more precise, like right through here. So let's take these. So it's a great groove to learn. 12/8, 6/8, 4/4, accent on 3 for the snare, and open and closed hi-hat feel. So that's it. And let's play it in its entirety. That's it. Halftime shuffle in Logic using Kontakt.